All right, I think it's time to get the party started. I'd like to thank you all for coming this evening. I'm Joe LeCompte. I'm a principal with PMG, and I'm going to talk about how an enterprise service catalog is critical to any successful cloud strategy. Let me turn my clicker on. Quick background on PMG. PMG is an Atlanta-based software company. We've been providing business process automation to our clients for over 16 years. Our flagship product is an enterprise service catalog, thusly the title of the presentation. And our service catalog is a combination of a front-end e-commerce interface, very similar to Amazon.com, coupled to a very powerful and flexible drag-and-drop workflow engine, and then integration to enterprise-class products from suppliers such as SAP, HP, VMware, IBM. So through that combination, we enable our clients to go beyond typical IT service management and go into true business process automation, which allows them to eliminate costs and improve efficiencies. Our target market is the Global 2000. We've experienced tremendous growth, doubling in size every year since 2010. And in the recently released Gartner Critical Capability Study on IT Service Catalog, we received the highest ranking overall, as well as the highest ranking in each of the individual use cases. What I want to talk about today is just general growth of the cloud, why things go out and, all right, I feel better. Growth of the cloud, how that growth is impacting individual users' needs, both end users and IT. Still good? Where the service catalog can come in to fill those needs, and what are the critical capabilities of that service catalog in order to be a successful deployment. Start with the growth of the cloud. I'm borrowing Gartner's numbers because we're at Gartner's conference, but they're predicting almost a 20% growth in public cloud consumption between 2012 and 2013. Most of that is coming in the business process as a service, which is your online advertising, your payment processing, your HR. But on a percentage basis, they're seeing even more growth in the infrastructure as a service and your platform as a service. Couple that all together, looking at $131 billion of spend next year in public cloud, and that's predicted to go over $200 billion in 2016. What that's doing is dramatically changing IT's influence. IT's been working very hard to transition from a cost center to a service provider, but now these services that they're providing are being provided by somebody else. So how does IT stay relevant, and how does IT position themselves as a strategic partner to the business? So in order to do that, let's take a look at each of the individual users' needs. Let's start from the business user. What is a business user looking for? Start with simplicity. They want it to be easy. It's kind of interesting that we have two of our clients that are Fortune 500 that are, both of them have initiatives which they call Simplify. And it's basically trying to make IT easy to work with. It's easy to do something on the internet. Anybody with a credit card and an internet connection, go get a server provision. Why can't internal IT provide the same service? They want it to be inexpensive. They want to be able to start slow and build upon success. And finally, they want it to be reliable. If you go to a URL and you hit for Salesforce.com, you want it to load. So that's what the end user is looking for. Now, IT gets a little more complicated because then, again, they're the ones providing the services that are being provided by somebody else. So from an IT user need, let's start with manageable. They need to know what people have ordered, what's been provisioned, and what level of access they have. They also need it to be secure. Security means different things to different people. I mean, typically if you talk about security, you think, I don't want a data breach. I don't want credit card numbers or social security numbers published on the web. But you also have to think about internal security. What's that level of access that people should have? I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool if I could run a query and get the names and home numbers of all the single people making over $100,000, but I think people would frown upon that at a corporate level. They need it to be scalable. Companies are growing quickly, shrinking quickly. They need any service to be able to get bigger and get smaller. Efficiency. They need to be at or near market prices. It's very interesting that these external suppliers are basically setting the prices that internal IT need to meet. It needs to be integrated into their existing business systems, because if you're going to provide business level service, you need to integrate into their business systems. The last three being compliant around any kind of existing contracts with OLAs and SLAs. You need it to be supportable. I'll go back to Salesforce again. I couldn't get into Salesforce last week. What's the message that pops up? The message pops up says, talk to my local administrator. Well, my local administrator, one, who is that? And two, they're not the one providing the service. Salesforce is. So, yet IT is held accountable and responsible for providing us support. And finally, that accountability comes with costing too. How much does it cost? Are the invoicing matching the pricing that we've agreed on? So how do you meet the needs of both the end user and the IT user? We believe the solution is a service catalog. And the key word here is an enterprise service catalog, not an IT service catalog. That means it's going to provide services to the entire enterprise, not just specifically to IT. And that enterprise service catalog needs 5 key components. First of all, it needs a single pane of glass, one place for any request. Secondly, you need role and entitlement-driven access. Don't show me things I can't order. Third, you need to provide automation. Again, external providers are setting the baseline. I can get a credit card and an internet connection. I can get a server in 5 minutes. Why is IT telling me it's going to take 2 weeks? Fourth, you need integration. If you're providing business-level services, you need business-level integration. And finally, you need very robust financial management so you can do chargebacks and billing. I'm going to go over each one of these individually. All right, that worked. Cool. This wasn't working 10 minutes ago. But that's the one I want to be on. Single pane of glass. You want one place for an end user to make any kind of request. Whether it's, I want a new Google ad campaign, I want Salesforce access, I want a new VM server. You can't make them go to two different places for a single request. An example is HR onboarding. Is that an HR service or is it an IT service? Got a lot of blinking here. So don't make them guess. Let them go to one place, and then on the back end, you can tell them what kind of service it was. Secondly, you need to provide integrated bundles. A VMware server instance by itself does not provide business value. A VM server with a Microsoft OS operating system, Visual Basic, and access for you 5 people there to develop a project, that provides business value. So we need to provide any kind of service in the catalog at a business level with integrated services. They need to be able to view the fulfillment in real time. Don't make them pick up a phone to find out where it is. Let them go to that same interface like Amazon. Hey, your order shipped last week. It should be arriving in 2 days. Hey, your order is waiting for your manager to approve it. Same kind of concept. They need to have one place to go and get that. And finally, end users need to see their view of subscriptions. I can't remember what I ordered 6 months ago, but I'd like to go to that single pane of glass and find out what I have. Now, from an IT user perspective, you want to be able to control what services are available. Don't show me the corporate jet if I can't request it. Don't show me a laptop I can't order. So an IT user in that same interface needs to be able to control what people have. It also gives them the ability to have an interchangeable supply chain. Somebody's ordering a laptop. Realistically, a business user doesn't care whether it's an HP laptop or a Dell laptop. They want a laptop. But HP might be running a special this week. The service catalog has to give the IT user the ability to swap that out and have the end user still get what they're asking for. The last thing this is going to provide is visibility to request, volume, and usage, so they know what people are asking for, they can provide more of it, or they know what people aren't asking for and take it down so you're not cluttering things. That's a single pane of glass. The next thing, which I was at before, is role and entitlement views. The top person, if you can read, is Tom Jones. The bottom person is Tom Smith. Tom Jones is in marketing. He sees a completely different level of service categories. He sees different featured services. Same place, just different views. Tom Smith at the bottom is an IT guy. He can order servers. You need a catalog that's going to let you drive those roles and entitlements. The other thing you're going to need it to do is make sure that it's integrated to your corporate Active Directory or corporate LDAP. Don't let somebody order stuff with a Gmail account. You need that because you want to do your chargeback, and by the fact that they're authenticating against your network, you know other things about them. What's their cost center? What's their department? What's their location? And that's going to be critical when you start talking about financial management. From an IC user, again, it's that access to services. Don't show me stuff I can't order. I can't say that enough, because if you go to a single catalog that has everything, people are going to inevitably request stuff that you don't want them to have. Automation. This one's key. You go out on the web, again, credit card, internet connection, get a server. People see it all the time. Why can't they get that internally? Business process automation is a must, and that's business process automation not runbook automation, not to ITSM workflow. You've got to go across to accounting, you've got to go across to IT, you've got to go to HR. It's got to be across the entire realm of people that might touch a given business service. From an IT user perspective, using automation is going to make sure you're following best practices, maintaining control of what you've agreed to do, make sure you have the proper approvals, and finally, make sure that you have auditability. If somebody requests SAP access through the catalog, there's an auditor that's going to come in a couple weeks and ask who asked for it, who approved it, and who provisioned it. That's why you need the automation. And that automation also gives you the tools in order to manage and provision cloud. If I need a VM server up, but I only need it for 30 days, put that in the request. 30 days later, automatically take it down. If you want to be nice, send them a reminder after 28 days and give them a chance to extend it. If you don't want to be nice, just take it down. They'll figure it out. It should look something like this. This should be the basic ScreenFlow. Here's my server, very clear business terms, what's it going to cost. Oops. Here's my cart. I can see the cart view very clearly. I have a one-time cost and an ongoing cost. Here's an email that's going to be integrated through your network that goes to your manager and say, do you approve? Give them buttons directly there in the email, approve or reject. And once it's approved, provision the workflow, automatically determine whether it's going to go internally or externally through the workflow, and then go ahead and update your CMDB. I apologize because this next slide's kind of busy, but this is talking about the integration piece. This is what our view, PMG's view of the service catalog ecosystem. It starts up at the top, where requests can be coming in from employees, contractors, business partners, who else? Customers. They could all come in and ask requests from your IT department. At the same time, you need the catalog to push back up. What's the cost of what you're asking for? When are you going to get it? What kind of knowledge do you also need to know about that particular server, and what's the status of the provisioning? Once that goes to the interface, notice the pointer, it goes down to the business service catalog. Again, we're putting things in business users' terms. From there, it can flow down to the technical service catalog, and even all the way down to your external providers. We're doing this to clients where they're asking for laptops or servers. They've outsourced their entire back office to IBM. So we go through and show them exactly what they're requesting here, and it ends using the workflow to actually create a request at IBM and get the request back so we have a server number. That didn't work. Over on the right-hand side are some of the other integrations you're going to need. Again, it's business-level requests. So you're going to need to integrate to your ERP system, maybe your LDAP, maybe your HR, maybe your project portfolio management. PMG has over 55 connectors to existing enterprise-class systems, and we're building more every day. We find this is one of the biggest selling points. It allows people to automate the entire process. The final key capability that you need is going to be financial management, and it's got to be very robust. The end user typically is looking for what's it going to cost, but that goes beyond just cost. There might be a one-time cost, there might be a recurring cost, there might be a cancellation cost. You know, if I get a laptop from Dell with a 36-month lease and I leave the company in 3 months, the company's still on the hook for another 33 months. We need to track that both from what I've consumed and the fact that there's an extra laptop sitting around. You need to have budgeting in there, you need to have reporting, you need to have chargeback. From the IT perspective, they need to use those costs and price, so you can do both. What's it cost, what price am I charging the end user to control demand? If I don't want everyone to get a MacBook Air, bump the cost up. It also allows you to choose the proper source for provisioning. Again, looking at cloud, if you have something that's going to use a ton of bandwidth and a ton of transactions, you probably don't want that up in the public cloud. That's probably something that fits better in your internal network. So again, using a financial manager, you can control that. The last thing you need is very flexible, powerful price allocation rules. Sometimes you want to say, I'm going to split the server between Department A and Department B. They're going to take 70% or 30%. Sometimes you're going to weight it based on the number of users in those departments, and that's going to change monthly. So you need the ability to do all those types of calculations so you can get accurate, true costing and chargeback. And then the final thing you need is going to be reports. You want to be able to look at reports at any different level. Show me the number of laptops I have in Norway. Show me the breakdown of my hardware between laptops and desktops, and you need to drill down. Here's the number of PCs I have, and then again, drilling down a little deeper. These are the two PCs, one's with me, one's with Andrew. And you can see in here what was the cost, what's the period, how long has it been on our books, when's it going to be off our books. So to quickly summarize, key points. That was too quick. Let me summarize a little slower. 1, don't make the end user guess where to go. Give them one place. I don't care if it's I need a laptop, I need a server, I need legal to review this contract, I need directions in the bathroom. They should go to one place to get that information. 2, you want to use role entitlement to maintain control and best practices. 3, again, I can't emphasize enough, separate the technical layer from the business layer. That allows you to, the business user doesn't care how you do it. They care how much and they care when. By separating those two, you're able to choose the best way to deliver that service. Provisioning needs to be instantaneous because that's what you're being judged against. And finally, any kind of costing and financial management needs to be very robust, transparent, and reportable. I got 4 minutes left. Any questions? All right, here's the most important part. If you fill out the little red sheet and give it to the people in the back wearing the gray PMG shirts, they'll give you a gift card. Thank you very much.